of Harmony Lane Homestead, and I want to welcome you to my kitchen. One of the reasons that I began to get interested in going back to basics, the whole homesteading lifestyle, had to do with some health issues that I was dealing with. And I needed to completely change my relationship with food. At one time, I weighed over 400 pounds. I have made a lot of progress in that area, and I still am working on being where I want to be. But I knew I had to change my whole relationship with food, and part of that was going back to whole foods, beginning to raise a lot of our own food. And I'm learning more and more about different foods that will help you with better health, help with wellness. And I just wanted to show you some of the things that I've been doing. I get excited about some of the things that I've been learning about, and I just wanted to share them with you. I'm learning about cultured foods. And the first cultured food that I started with is the kombucha. And I'm really liking the kombucha. I had a friend who makes kombucha, and she was all excited, and she shared about it with me, and I really didn't go anywhere with it until I started researching more healing foods, and I was able to purchase a SCOBY and the starter and get started making my own kombucha. Right now, this is the second batch that I've done. I like doing the ginger turmeric because both of those are beneficial with different health issues, especially inflammation, which I deal a lot with. The blackberry, this is my favorite. Blackberry's my favorite. I ended up making the blackberry because my parents on their property, they have a lot of wild blackberries growing, and I knew they probably had some in their freezer. So when they were coming over for a visit, I asked them if they had some extra, if they'd bring me some, which they did. And so I was able to use that to make blackberry. On the second batch, I decided to try and make some blueberry, which I wasn't real thrilled with the way it turned out. I might have to tinker with it a little bit. It's not a real strong blueberry flavor. And then I found a recipe to do cream soda, and this one I'm going to tinker with it a little bit. I like it, but it's not quite where I want it. But that was good. And I'm getting ready. I'll probably have another batch ready tomorrow or the next day to start a second ferment. And definitely going to do some more blackberry. I'm going to do some more cream soda and see if I can get it where I want. I don't think I'm going to make any more blueberry. I got a mango. I want to try mango. But it's fun. It's a good alternative to soda. For over 30 years, I was addicted, seriously addicted to Diet Colas. And I knew with the health struggles I was having that I had to give up pop, and I had to give up artificial sweeteners. And I have been free of soda for a year and a half now. And this is a good alternative. Another thing that learning about cultured foods is fermented foods. And these are some of the ferments that I've been doing lately. And I just got started doing this kind of stuff. Just brand new to doing this. This is what's left of some sauerkraut that I did. It's almost gone. It's awesome. I've always been a sauerkraut fan, and this is fabulous. I did some garlic dill carrots, and I just checked these this morning, and they're ready to go in the refrigerator. And I'm liking the way they taste. I think maybe next time I'll put more dill in them because I really am a dill fan, and so I would like more of a dill flavor. And then this stuff here, this is an apple, orange, cranberry kraut. So, and that basically tells you the ingredients that are in it. And it smells really, really good, and it tastes fabulous. And these both finished up today. They're going in the refrigerator, and they, from what I have been told and the things that I've been learning about, these will last for months in the refrigerator. And then another thing that I'm doing is kefir. I have had digestive issues, diverticulosis, ulcers, things like that. And in the past, when I was having, flare up, I would run to the store and get some kefir, and it always helped. Well, learning about the cultured foods, I'm learning how to make my own kefir, so I ordered kefir grains and got those. And right here on top of the refrigerator, I've got my latest batch of kefir. By this evening, this should be where I want it to be, ready to strain out my kefir grains, and get another batch started. And that is fabulous. And I have only been using the kefir just for the last several days, on a regular basis, and I can already tell that it's helping me with some digestive issues, so that's awesome. Another thing that I'm doing is I am sprouting some seeds and beans. I've been trying since last summer to eat more of what we raise here, or if it's not something that we're able to raise right here, as locally sourced as possible. And between the food that I canned from our garden, or the food that we dehydrated, or the foods that we have in cold storage, I have lots of vegetables to eat. And so I was really missing salads. And I wouldn't go out and buy salad because I'm trying to get away from just running to the store to get what I want just because I want it. And it was like a light bulb went off, and it's like grow sprouts. I can grow sprouts. And these are some of the sprouts that I've grown. These are a blend of alfalfa and other seeds here. And these here are mung bean sprouts. Over there on top of my dehydrator, I have that's a mix of different sprouted seeds. Those I pulled out today of the sprouting tray, and they're just drying there, getting ready to go in the refrigerator. I had thought about doing sprouts in the past, and I had my little cap for sprouting jar, and I even had some seeds that I had bought, some adzuki beans, mung beans, thinking, okay, we're gonna get into the sprouting thing. Never did it. And so when I thought, oh good, I'm gonna sprout seeds for salads, I got out my lid turn a jar into a sprouting jar, and picked up some alfalfa seeds and went ahead and started with those, and they turned out so fabulously. I'm like, what else can I sprout? So I hauled out the mung beans and the adzuki beans, and also I had some lentils sitting on the shelf. I hauled those out to see how well they would sprout. And I know you're not supposed to use them if they're more than a year old because they might not sprout so well. And I did find mixed results with those, but the mung beans, even though they were over 5 years old, the mung beans sprouted very well. The adzuki beans, not so great. I ended up giving those to the chickens. And that's another thing with the sprouts. What I don't eat, I can give to my birds. And then I went and picked up this handy dandy little sprouting tray thing. And I've been using this, and this is handy. I can put my seeds or beans in here, and you just put the lid on the top. It's got holes in it, and you put your water in it, and it will just run down through the trays. And twice a day you just dump out the water that's drained through, rotate your trays, add more water, and I just keep this up on top of the refrigerator somewhere where it's light but not direct sunlight, and that seems to be working very well. And then I decided this time with the adzuki beans and the mung beans, I didn't pre-soak them before sprouting them last time, so I'm pre-soaking those for a couple days and see how those do. And then one other thing that I just started doing that I'm excited about is I wanted to try making my own butter. We have goats, which right now they're not in milk. My one that we bred last year, she has dried up in preparation for giving birth again this year. And she's due about April 14th. We have another one that will be a first time mama that's due about the 1st of May. And until they give birth, we won't have any fresh milk on the farm. But there's a local dairy that has minimally processed, as close to raw as you can legally get. It's minimally processed cow's milk, which I can't just drink straight cow's milk. It doesn't agree with my system. But I got some of it to do the kefir, because with the process that kefir goes through, I can do cow's milk with that. And then they had an awesome deal on their heavy cream, so I bought some heavy cream to make butter. And I made butter last night and today, and this had more in it, but I've used some today. And I got this butter and this butter, and this was from not a full gallon, because the first attempt I had at making the butter, I was shaking it in the jar, and it turned to whipped cream, and I didn't realize that if I just kept shaking it a little longer, then it would go from the whipped cream stage to butter stage. So I ended up making a dessert for my husband with that whipped cream. And then I went online and found out a little bit more about making the butter, and I'm like, oh, I just needed to shake it a little bit more. And I cultured this cream before making the butter so that I would have cultured butter. And then, as a result of making the butter, then I have awesome buttermilk that I can either drink this, or I can use it in baking, or I can give it to my chickens because they'll like that. But these are just a few of the things that I've been doing lately. You know, the cultured foods, some of the sprouting, in addition to all my other from scratch cooking that I do. And I just wanted to share a little bit of what I've been doing here in my kitchen. And in the future, when I'm making some of this stuff, I'll share with you the process that I use to make these wonderful foods.